Fabulous. All right. Jean Marie, go for it.
Oh, hello, everybody. We have such a special guest today, and our hearts are full of gratitude. We have Robert Radnoti and Jonathan Clark with me, Jean Marie Rousseau. We are talking to Robert and having him share his life, his experiences just a little bit. And what we are headed for is an event in Hawaii, and it is an Entrepreneurs Accelerated event, a global summit that will take place October 22nd through October 29th, 2023 in Kona, Hawaii. It's on the sacred grounds of the King Kamehameha Marriott Courtyard resort, I guess, but it is specifically on the grounds of King Kamehameha, and that is so special. It is a special time. There will be a lunar eclipse on October 28th, and it happens to be right at that focal point. And so we know that the energy, the spirit, the gratitude, what we are coming together for, the entrepreneurs in a business fashion, but yet we are touching upon the body, mind, and spirit, as well as the underlying mental health and wellness and the financial wellness being the theme of this entire event. We have so many speakers. We have approximately 30 speakers with the knowledge, skills, and experience that are truly exceptional. They're global influencers. And today we are highlighting and inviting into our home, our Zoom home, I guess, is Robert Radnoti, who is from Florida. Should I say Florida? Soon to be Santa Barbara, very close, but he hails from the United States. And we definitely appreciate his time. He is a certified trainer from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I will not do justice to what you have in your wealth of knowledge, your experiences, your stories, Robert. I know he has traveled the world these last months. I know it's been Thailand, Greece, the Mediterranean, Italy, and he's been on Abraham cruises, one or two, I think two, right?
Two now. Yeah, two this year.
Two now. So we just have so much to talk about. I'm so excited. So Robert, without further ado, he is speaking at the event in Hawaii. And we would love for you to share a little bit about you, a little bit about your experiences, your path, your journey, and just share.
Okay, first, it's a pleasure to be here. And just as you were speaking, all of a sudden I had all sorts of ideas, because this is an entrepreneurial audience that we're going to be speaking to. And I've been on an entrepreneurial journey for most of my life, starting when I was 10 years old and got my first paper route, newspaper paper out, and saved all my money and got my dad to invest in AMF stock. And it doubled. I was so excited about that. So I've been working since I was 10. I became a chemical engineer, worked for Exxon for 25 years, and got some really incredible experiences doing that, and running an organization called the United States Corporate Athletics Association at the same time. And then I quit to become the head track and field and cross country coach at Pepperdine University, and did that for a while. And then I in the middle of that, we weren't very well funded. We didn't have any scholarships. So I decided I was going to hypnotize my athletes. So I went to hypnotherapy school for 1.5 years to learn from the best. In fact, Joe Dispenza graduated from that same school, HMI, and then got involved with the Tony Robbins world and the Joe Dispenza world and the Abraham world and Steve Covey world, and all the personal development and network marketing. And now I own part of a pizza company, a men's clothing company, a coaching company, an engineering company, and I'm having the time of my life.
Sounds amazing. You are absolutely a good role model to spend some time with. This is a man you need to know.
Because of this mind body spirit connection to the entrepreneur. It's going to be really fun to talk with all the audience there. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but it's going to be amazing. And I'm sure that those that come are going to get great value from all the 30 speakers, and of course both of you. And so I'm really excited about the event.
Fabulous.
Oh, thank you. This is so engaging because we have, it's more of a conversation, and the event truly has the various levels of business that we will be speaking of, Robert. We touch upon the cybersecurity, we touch upon the diversity and inclusion, leadership, very, very much leadership. We talk about metaverse, AI, and gaming. There's definitely so many facets of business, but the component of the body, mind, and spirit, unless we are truly at our best health-wise, it has an impact on our business. It truly, truly does. It gives an opportunity for us to ask you, the expert, in what you've done, looking back at those businesses. Is there one particular key or something that just spoke to you, that drove you?
You know, it's interesting. As you were asking that question, my mind started going through what are all those things, and there's so many. And then what I concluded in your question was that it's really about the personal evolution. So I remember first when I read a book called American Samurai, and it was about Kaizen, or continuous improvement. It was something that in my latter years at Exxon, I got involved with sort of the quality movement, and it got to spend some time with Dr. Edward Demings and bring some of our Exxon people there. And so it was just an amazing experience. But Kaizen, that continuous improvement, I guess without even thinking about it, that's what I've been doing. And whether it was learning from Stephen Covey and then becoming a facilitator of his work within Exxon, or a program called Investment in Excellence with Lou Tice, again, became the facilitator of that. And that's sort of a pattern of mine. I get involved with something and then I became one of their facilitators or trainers. And it happened with Tony Robbins too. And he blew me away with all of his life strategies, and got involved with the leadership of that. And then ran into Joe Dispenza on a trip to New Zealand. He came with us on a Tony Robbins Platinum Partners trip, and then went and saw him for the first time in Dubai, and just go, wow, this is really cool. And now I'm a trainer and consultant with him, and teach his program about change. And now I've discovered Abraham Hicks and go like, wow, this is really cool too. So I think the real key is just having that growth mindset, and always searching for, how do I better myself? How do I better my body, my mind, my spirit, the people around me, my leadership skills, my business, and always be looking for, how do I do that, and be driven by it. And it's really one word that I spoke about on my last podcast I did, which is just passion. You know, passion for life, a passion for health, a passion for your business. And the one thing I want to say about the entrepreneur thing that I just remembered that Tony taught me in a program called Business Mastery is, you know, oftentimes we as entrepreneurs, we have this great idea, we have this big product, we have this service, whatever it is, but we are the artist. And we think we can do it all. And so we start a business, and we do the marketing, and we do the operations, and we do the artist work. And something like 96% of all businesses fail within the first year. And one of the things Tony taught me, and I'm using it now in my businesses, is you have to have 3 elements, or 3 different people involved in your business. You are the artist, be the artist, but don't try to do everything. So there is a person that needs to be your operations and maintenance person, the one that runs things, and you shouldn't be doing that because it takes away from your artistry. And then there needs to be that entrepreneur person, that marketing person that really goes out there and takes your ideas and takes your branding that you've created and creates a real business and a growth opportunity. And I've set up my company, Radnoti Research Institute, that way. And I've got those three elements now. And because of that, it's just really starting to flourish. And in the past, I've tried to do it myself because I think I can. And most people actually can if you were three people, but we're not. We're one person. Stay an artist and have that passion and grow as a person.
That's really, really interesting. That's reminiscent of Michael Gerber's stuff about, he had a great diagram of all the different departments: janitor, cleaning person, CEO, CFO. And yeah. When you launch your own business, it's all hope, it's all hype, it's all like, I'm the only one who's enthusiastic about it, and I'm looking for other people who are going to agree with me. Yes. But you can't spin all the plates for long. That's a really interesting point.
And it's taken me a while to find these people. Yeah. And I've got passionate people that just want to grow and want to be part of this and like their role. So I remember reading about Southwest Airlines and that they have some unique titles to their various departments. So like their head of HR isn't the director of human resources, it's the director of fun. And so I actually gave these two people, one of them is the director of Juicy and Delicious. So that's my entrepreneur arm. And the other one is director of Fun and Interesting. And it's kind of interesting. And then I'm the director of Art. But one of the things I'm really big into is linguistics, and the way you use your words and even to describe yourself, I think are really, really important. And so that's something I picked up from Southwest Interest, and is a good example where, if you've read, and I think probably a lot of people there have read the book Celestine Prophecy. It was very influential for me like 25, 30 years ago, whenever it first came out, in this concept of serendipity, and that the universe or source or God or whatever you believe in spiritually is always giving you clues along the way, and that you have to wake up and become conscious of your unconscious. And all of a sudden, magic just seems to happen when you're elevated at a high vibration. And you can probably tell I'm pretty high right now, and amazing things are happening, including, last night we went to this Bruce Springsteen concert, and it's down the road. The traffic's bad. There's no parking. We just flew in from Austin, Texas. Not sure if we're even going to make it to this thing. It's a surprise for my girlfriend here, and she doesn't even know where we're going. And literally, we got here. The plane was 15 minutes early somehow. The car rental, the car was just ready, and it hardly ever is. The traffic was supposed to be really bad coming, and it broke. And then we go to the concert, and there's a parking spot like next to the stadium, and we pulled in there, walked to the stadium. I forgot my money, my wallet, because I left it in the car, and we were starving food, and I'm walking out, and this guy says to me, "You need some money?" And I go, "Yeah, we forgot it." He goes, "Here's $100. And I go, "What?" So I quickly set up a Zelle to give him the money, go to buy a pizza and hot dog, whatever. They go, "We're paperless. We don't take money." And I go, "What? We're starved." And she goes, "Don't you have something like Apple Pay?" And I said, "No, I don't think so. I've never used it." She goes, "Just check. Type in wallet." I type in wallet. She goes, "Oh, you have it. Give that to me." And she did it. And so coming out, there's what, 100,000 people coming out of the stadium trying to find your car, trying to find the traffic is just jammed. Where we parked, the policeman pulls us out, and we drive on the wrong side of the road, bypassing all the people that are stopped there for like an hour, and then took a side road, went to the hotel, and we're here like within 15 minutes. And I go, "How did that happen?"
Look
It
at
happens
that.
because you're vibrating high, you're passionate, and just the magic happened. And just like that Celestine prophecy, which applies to business, when you open your eyes and you can see more than is obviously there, that's magic.
I love that. I love that.
It truly, truly is. And it helps us to understand the value. You were talking about change and the
Evolution.
looking at the business. Yes. It's important that we know that it's us that has to change. And it is not others. We have no control over others. And it's just focusing on us and our happiness, and know what we have in our mind and our hearts, and let that passion come through. And you're such a perfect example of that, Robert. You truly, truly are. And that, I call that a divine appointment from start to finish last evening. Oh my goodness. And how
Divine
was the
appointment with the boss.
Oh, it was excellent. But now that you bring up what you just brought up about it starts with you. So the course I teach for Joe Dispenza is called Change Your Mind, Create New Results. In the very first introduction, it is about neuroscience. So, change is, it's us, but we are, it's a hardware issue. And it's neuroscience. It's not just hearing something at your conference here or any conference, any workshop, and going, oh, okay, I'm going to do that. There's things that have to happen in your brain to actually make changes. And that's what we change. That's what Dr. Joe teaches. That's what he's taught us to teach everyone all over the world, particularly in corporations. So I'm part of a company called NeuroChain Solutions. Joe's trained about 100 of us personally and trains us monthly on what he wants us to teach corporations, entrepreneurs. And it's just fascinating. But the first introduction is that your personal reality or your life is totally dependent on your personality. And your personality consists of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. And so if you want to change your life, your personal reality, you have to change your personality. Now, most people, they want to change their life as the same personality, and it simply doesn't work. So if you really want to make change, the answer is you have to change you. And we go through the process, the neuroscience of what that actually really means, because by the time you're in your mid-30s, 95% of all your thoughts, your actions, and your feelings are programmed into your body. So you've got about 5% of your mind trying to overcome 95% of what's programmed. And it's no wonder that change is so difficult. But if we believe that if we can teach the neuroscience of this, that people could understand this, that we could actually make changes. Because research also shows that 90% of all your thoughts are the exact same thoughts that you had the day before. And so if you're having the same thoughts, then you're going to have the same options or choices in life. And then you're going to create the same behaviors or actions, producing the same experiences, and creating the same feelings or emotions. And you continue to repeat that. And so your life stays the same because you stay the same. And your biology, your neurocircuitry, your neurochemicals, your hormones, and even your genetic expression stays the same because you are the same. So the only way to make change is to have a new thought. And new thought leads to new choices or options, creating new actions or behaviors. And that produces a different experience. And now you've got a different emotion or feeling, and that influences more new thoughts. And then you have the process of evolution, and then you can actually make real change. But once we teach people what's going on inside the body, and that you move from your neocortex to your limbic brain to your cerebellum, which is your microprocessor within your brain. And we can show people that, that neuroscience, particularly educated people or people that want to grow, people that have passion, then change becomes a lot easier. And you don't have to keep going to workshops over and over again and getting these thoughts into you, and you have them for about a month or 2 or 3, and then you forget about them and you revert back to the way you were, because now you know that you have to take your nerve cells and you have to prune them, and you have to create new connections and create new neural connections and systems, and you can produce real long and lasting change. And that's what our mission is all about in NeuroChange Solutions.
Wow.
Wow. And I remember what the bleep do we really know? They talked about the more you fire, the more you wire. So the minute you form those new pathways, initially it's like stepping stones across your garden lawn, and then it becomes like a dirt track, then it becomes like a highway, and you just have to keep that repetition. So my question, Robert, would be, when you broach that with a new corporate client or a new business, do you get resistance? Do people go, hang on a minute, I have to change? Do you get that, or do you bypass the resistance with the science?
You know, it's so interesting that you asked that question, because typically in a corporation, we get called in by 1 or 2 champions. You know, they know the Joe Dispenza, they know the neuroscience, they're excited, they want to bring it to their company, so they want to get it to them, right? Because if you could elevate a company, a corporation, whether small or large, and we're working with small and large, you can elevate people. All of a sudden, your profitability, your customer satisfaction, your employee satisfaction and retention all go up. We're measuring that. But so interesting, that first section that I just talked about, it lasts about 2.5 hours. And as I'm looking out in the audience, as I'm speaking and Joe is speaking, and we've got some great exercises and videos that go along with this training, you can see in each person when the light bulb goes on.
Yeah.
And it happens somewhere between the start and 2.5 hours into this, but it literally happens to every single person. I just got back from a training in Rochester. I did a small company of 11, 12 people, and it was exactly that way. You can see that some of the people did not want to be there. They're like this. And that's okay, because it becomes a challenge as a trainer. But you really literally get every single one of them, because deep down, everyone wants to be better. Everyone wants to perform. Everyone wants, whether they're driven by their personal things, I want more money, I want a promotion, I want blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, what our strategy is, you don't even have to think about this in terms of your business. Thinking about it in terms of your personal life, because we know if people improve their personal life, they're going to improve their business life. In fact, I learned that very early on within Exxon. You know, a lot of people maybe have a stigma about Exxon, but it's an incredible company that really care about their employees and personal development. We had training for our employees every year for all the years that I worked there in this program that we brought in called Investment in Excellence. The strategy was said, use this for your personal life. Don't even think about business. And I go, this is amazing. Exxon's telling me to improve my personal life. And it was so fascinating, because it's an affirmation process that I've never seen before. I think it's just brilliant. It's a 3-part affirmation process. You know, most people, they say, I am love, I am courage, I am bold, whatever, that's your affirmation. But their process was, because I've done something, I have accomplished this result, and that makes me feel. And that 3-part affirmation was so powerful. At the end of the course, we made these 3x5 cards, and we wrote these affirmations on it. I did 57 of those when I was a 25-year-old engineer for Exxon. As of just a few years ago, every single one of those 57 goals or affirmations became true. And I had some wild ones, including, because of my passion for track and field and cross country, I am a head coach of a Division I university in the United States, and that makes me feel like I accomplished something great in life. I had no business moving from a chemical engineer to the head coach of Pepperdine University, but it happened somehow. whether it was a combination of this incredible affirmation, whether it's because the Celestine prophecy, and I was looking around because of the circumstances that had to happen for me to move from an engineer to the head coach at Pepperdine University. I don't think anyone's ever done that but me. And or just this drive, this passion, this vibrating high. I don't know. All these things are important. And that's why earlier when I said, just keep growing, keep learning, keep incorporating into your, have Kaizen for yourself, you're going to do some incredible things in life. And that's what our program here in Hawaii is going to be all about for that entrepreneur. Improve your mind, improve your body, improve your spirit, improve everything about you, and your business will thrive. And then we'll figure out how to provide the leadership and to love contagiously on all your employees so that they start to get that passion, drive, and desire that the artist truly has.
What do you say?
Beautiful.
I am without words. You can keep talking. I am just enjoying this so much. You're spot on. And that was our intent. Jonathan and I, right? I mean, we have a like mindset.
100%.
We know that this is not just about business. It is about business, but it's not just another meeting or conference, if you will, Robert. And you very, very much totally was on target with every point that we want to care about the people. And it's about the person first. And our mental health and wellness will affect our financial wellness. And the financial wellness, we're not always talking. People cringe, and I get a lot of criticism when I say it's not always about the money. Financial wellness is the growth that our attitudes, if please chime in, it's our attitudes of what we have on how we handle money, and what that money means to us and what it affords us to do. If we have a negative versus a positive, and you're going to show us that too, a part of our growth, right, Robert? I mean, is it embedded in that the NLP that you talk about, the neuroscience, does money come into that and that growth and that change?
Oh, for sure. When I think about wealth, I think about physical body wealth, your emotions and interpretation of words wealth, your relationship wealth, your time management wealth, your passion or purpose in life wealth, your financial wealth, and your spiritual contribution wealth. I have 7 levels of wealth in my life plan that I've created and continue to evolve on. And working all of them at the same time is really loving contagiously on your body and yourself.
Well, I love that. I think Robert's going to be a very popular speaker on this week. I think he's going to get mobbed by people in the corridor. You're absolutely in alignment with where we're coming from. As the business owner, as the entrepreneur, you are the business. You are the brain behind it. You're the entrepreneur. The ideas are the coin of the entrepreneur. You drive everything. Your business is an external 3D reflection of how you're doing internally. So if you're a mess in here, it's going to be a mess out there, and vice versa. So you're absolutely in sync with where we're going. I think now would be a good time to kind of explain what we're doing in Hawaii and run through some of the basics of that, and then we'll have a final Q&A and wrap this thing up for today. Sure. Let me just share my slide. The 3 core pillars of what we're doing in this week in October are absolutely about this. Yes, it's about money. Yes, it's for entrepreneurialism and business owners, but it's very much about the mind, the body, the spirit, your mental health. Your mental health, in my part of the world, we're world famous for one major thing, and it's suicide in men. We are extremely good at it and almost proud of it. For some reason, this part of Scotland has a huge suicide rate in husbands and men and business owners. And it's something that's never really talked about. It's 11 times higher than the murder rate. Wow. The murders get coverage on the news, but the suicides don't. And very often it's to do with money. Very often it's to do with relationships. Very often it's to do with businesses not working. So we need to take care of this holistically, CAT scan perspective from all angles. So it is absolutely about financial wellness. It's also about mental health and wellness. If you're sick, if you're ill, you can't work. Your company, is your kind of company run? If you disappear from your company for a week, would it still be there when you came back? If it won't, then maybe you don't have a business, maybe you've got a job. So we need to make sure that we take care of you and that your business is efficient and it works with you very, very well. We have to cover all three things. So our invitation is, do you want to come and join us in Hawaii in October? Here's what's going to happen. We are going to help you get whatever your workload is currently down to about a 5-hour work week. We want to help you do about an hour, think of that, an hour's work a day, and have the rest of the time to do whatever you like, because you work to earn an income to pay for the things that you want to do when you're not at work. You're trying to finance the lifestyle that you want to have. You don't work to live. So we want to help you accelerate that. We want to help you live longer and be around to enjoy the benefits, and healthier with all your faculties, ideally. And if you can retire you early or retire your partner early, all the better. And we're going to teach you all this in 7 intense days with a whole bunch of world-class leaders in their fields. So making a positive impact in your industry, training your body to generate and store more energy, what they call mana in Hawaii, or ki in Japan, or chi in China, being able to develop innovative products or services. You're going to have hundreds of years of business experience walking around in this hotel. So tap into that. We're going to have facilitated networking. There may be joint ventures, there may be strategic alliances. You might have suppliers, you might have partners. So many possibilities, infinite possibilities. The 7-day Entrepreneur Summit, we are valuing at $7,444, but we thought, to make it even better, why don't we have you stay in the venue? Why don't we put everybody in the same place? So it's not like you leave the seminar room and then that's it, finish till tomorrow. No, we're all going to be in the same place. So we're all staying in the Kinkamehameha Marriott Beach Resort, lovely place. I was in there in 2005, I think it was, last time I was there. It's had a fantastic makeover. There's a Hawaiian temple, a heiau, out in the water where the staff have a monthly blessing for the benefit of the company. It's a fantastic place. So accommodation is included in this week's training. What else might you be thinking of? Okay, well, that takes the value up to $9,500. What else do we need to do? How about firewalking? How about we have an experience of what Tony Robbins calls fear into power, and we have you do something that maybe your conscious mind can't handle. The story goes, firewalking has been around since originally originated in India. Tony, apparently, the story I've heard is that he asked one of his trainers, John Grinder, for an angle, a shtick, something to hang his hat on. And Grinder suggested something that the Western mind can't comprehend. So Tony learned how to do firewalking, and off he went and made a career out of doing that. The Hawaiians used to walk across recently cooled lava. And if someone in the town had committed a crime, everybody in the population would be expected to walk across the recently cooled lava, and the only person that would burn would be the person who committed the crime. It was a fail-safe way to smoke out, literally, who the perpetrator was. So we're going to do a firewalk as well. If you include that in the value of this seminar, we're up to $12,000. We're also going to have the Island Breeze Luau team. We're going to have the cultural team from Hawaii who are going to be chanting in Hawaiian, teaching Hawaiian hula. You're going to be eating Hawaiian food under a Hawaiian sunset with tiki torches on the beach. That's going to be part of the experience as well. So all in all, we're valuing this entire thing at $12,500. Now, you know how these things work. If you're on a webinar like this, we're not going to charge that. But if it reduced your working hours to 5 hours a week, a 5-hour work week, would it be worth a week in Hawaii to come out with that result? If all it did was added 10 years to your life and you stayed healthy with all your faculties for longer, would that be worth it? If it allowed you to retire 5 years early or 10 years early, would it be worth spending a week in paradise at all? So $12,500, 7,444 is the price we're putting on it. But because you're here and watching this, we are going to make it available at $5,444, including accommodation and everything we've talked about. Everything about this is on acceleratedentrepreneurial.org. You can see all the speakers, including Robert. You can see the itinerary. You can see accommodation. You can do a virtual walkthrough of the hotel and find out anything you need to know about flights, all that kind of stuff. It's all on that website. We're also offering a military discount. For anybody who's armed forces or ex-armed forces, we are going to knock 20% off all ticket prices. So you will see there are different tickets available on the website. If you've served, then we will take 20% off that in recognition of that. So you have two choices. You can either do nothing at all and get really fed up seeing us on the interwebs raving about this stuff, showing success stories and lovely pictures of palm trees, and you think to yourself, I wish I'd gone. Or you could go on the website and book your seat and actually join us in Hawaii. Why the heck not? Overall, you're looking at $12,594 worth of value. We also have funding opportunities. So if that still is a little bit rich for you, we can actually break that down into monthly payments. And we have several funders who you can talk to about that. So if that is of interest to you, contact us. We can put you in touch with them and take you through that process. We're also going to give you a meditation audio of the Ho'oponopono process for cutting connections with the past and anyone that you don't want connections with. Ho'oponopono was popularized greatly by Joe Vitale in a book called Zero Limits, which is a good book. But the 10-word affirmation is not genuine Hawaiian Ho'oponopono. I was lucky enough to be taught in Hawaii over 5 occasions over a few years, which is why this pale Scottish white guy is talking about Hawaii. But I also stumbled across in a tiny little bookshop that was the size of my bathroom, a handwritten spiral-bound folder that had been written out by a Hawaiian family on how to conduct the Ho'oponopono process the way it was always done traditionally. So we're going to teach that. It's recorded on audio. We're going to be doing it at the event. On the last day of the event, we're going to be doing that where you cut connections with everybody at the event because you really need to do that. All groups have to come to a conclusion. So we're going to help you do that in a really traditional way in a sacred site in Hawaii. However, we've got an audio of it. If you want to listen to that, book your ticket. We will get that to you as well. So acceleratedentrepreneur.org is where all the action is. It's $5,444 total. If you want to take the full 7 days, you can see all the tickets on that website right there. And that concludes that part of the show. So,
oh my goodness, Jonathan, I just want to make sure that people know that they will be hearing all our speakers, Robert and all our speakers. You will have an opportunity to be in their keynote signature talk. You will then have an opportunity to join them later for their, whether it's a mastermind or a workshop or a training. Robert, you do hypnosis, right?
Yeah.
And that will be an option, a part of the program. And that is truly above and beyond that 12,000, I would feel. Definitely.
Wow. If you added up the consulting costs for like 5 hours with each of the speakers, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Truly. And so what you are, the value that you have investing in yourself and your business is priceless. And we're inviting you to join us.
Come on in, the water's fine. So, Robert, any last words for any last message for the viewers at home?
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to talk about is this concept of loving contagiously. And I hand out these love buttons. You can see it here. I've handed out now 12,000 of them over the last few years. And it was something that I discovered actually in Date with Destiny, Tony Robbins' signature event. It's where you develop your purpose or mission in life. In fact, my very first Tony event was the one in the movie I'm Not Your Guru, which is on Netflix, and everyone should watch it. But because of my corporate background at Exxon, my purpose or mission in life was this really long thing. At the end of Date with Destiny, you have to yell it and scream it at your partner, your buddy. That's his process for getting things into your body. And mine was so long, I couldn't remember it. But I went to this event 8 years in a row because it's in December. It sets you up for the next year because you develop your goals and your values and your relationship, all these really wonderful things that set you up for a beautiful year coming up. And by my 5th time, it finally dawned on me. It was like a message came from somewhere. And it says, your purpose in life is to love contagiously. And then within a few days, I went home back to California. I was living in Malibu, and a bunch of us got together, make some gift baskets for a battered women's shelter. And this lady had these buttons and in a bowl, and she said, just grab as many as you want. And so I grabbed this big handful, put it in my cargo pants, and started giving it out to people on holidays, waiters, waitresses, flight attendants, and people really lit up. And so I wanted more, and I did get more through this organization called the Love Button Global Movement. And there's so many serendipitous stories to this thing. I'm not going to tell you here. Someone can catch me in Hawaii and I'll tell you the story as I give you a love button. But it's been amazing. And now I give out these love buttons. And I thought when I was starting out that this was a gift to other people, that I'm giving them love. And what I learned over time is it's really a gift to me. And even more importantly, that I'm realizing now, is that loving contagiously on yourself and taking care of your own body and your mind and your spirit is really the key to life.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And it really, I've seen the button, I've heard you speak of it and to it, but this explanation has really resonated with me even more so. So with that, Robert, thank you so much. And that underlying theme again that we have, it is our audience, it is for entrepreneurs, it is for spiritual entrepreneurs, for our military, for our military's wives, meeting and event planners, but we embrace, and there's something for everyone here, especially because of the mental health and wellness and the financial wellness topic. It is personal. And so whether you're a corporate leader, CEO of a corporation, or an entrepreneur, this is for everyone, and we welcome you. And Robert, thank you for today. Could you please be so kind? How could people get in touch with you? They can contact us and we can connect you, but how could people get in touch with you?
Oh, I'm easy to find. RobertRadnoti.com, or just Google my name if you can spell it right, because I'm easy to find.
Okay. And yes, just reach out to us as well, truly. Jonathan, anything more to add to this?
No, I couldn't top this if I tried. Robert, you've been absolutely gold rock star today. I love it. I just keep thinking that loving contagiously is kind of like aloha.
Yes.
It's welcome, share my space, share my breath. It's all about the aloha spirit, and we are very much going to the islands in that mindset. We're respecting the land, respecting the people. We're not there as tourists. We're not there to look at palm trees. We're there to respect what we're there for, but we're there to help everybody, and we want everybody having a profound shifting experience. We want this to be monumental in people's lives, and then we're going to do it every year, hopefully, and then we'll take it to other countries as well. But
okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Loving contagiously, I think that's today's theme.
Oh, and it's a perfect theme.
Love it.
Jonathan, we need to touch base on the book. We didn't speak about the anthology.
Is there a book involved at all, Jim Marie? Is there? Yes, I think
it's a great takeaway. Yes. Yeah. Can you share with everybody?
Well, we thought maybe a good idea if each of the speakers, while they're there, wrote a chapter of a book, and we can create an anthology book with all of their best golden nuggets and put it into one volume. We're going to launch it. It's already in pre-order state. We're going to launch it on Amazon live while we're at the event, and with any luck, we'll hit #1 international bestseller while we're there. So we may well have a launch party celebration into the bargain. But yeah, there's a lot of things happening around this event. It's going to be great for the delegates. It's going to be great for the speakers. It's going to be an event. It's not a seminar. It's not a workshop. It's not a summit. It's an event. and in my experience, there's just something magical about Hawaii. And if you've never been there, the minute you set foot on those islands, you can feel it. It just overwhelms you. I love it. It takes you about a week for Westerners to slow down to Hawaii speed. And then after a week, everybody's kind of hanging loose and chilling. What time do you open? Whenever I can be bothered. Okay. How much is this? What do you think's fair? I like this place. This is good. And with recent events that have happened over there, we'd like to help with that as well. So we've got lots of really good reasons to bring ourselves and our hopes and dreams to these islands for everybody's benefit. And aloha, translated into English, is probably loving contagiously. So all is good. Thank you, Robert. You've been a rock star today.
Yes, mahalo.
Mahalo. Mahalo.
And
thank you.
Ahui ho.
Ahui ho. Ahui ho, which means till we meet again.
Okay. Sounds good.
Beautiful.
All right.